think you said his name a little earlier. You said that you would make if Bellinger's hold up, his Texas shootout, whatever you want to call it, with this deal is going to hold out. Then why wouldn't the Yankees go, especially if the Blue Jays are sort of the favorites for maybe Kyle Tucker and they spend a lot of money on Kyle Tucker?
Hmm.
Is a pivot for Bo Bichette a good option for the Yankees? And I think there was rumblings that he would be open to be a second baseman. And is that a bat that could be um, more of a financially sound decision now that we're hearing some crazy numbers for Bellinger? I'm if Bobish, and we know that Brian Cashman said in the winter meetings that the Yankees are too left-handed, and I
Yes.
know it'd be signing a player from another team, and I would honestly call it maybe a long shot, but we have to see how the market develops and where Kyle Tucker does land and where that bigger. We know that Schwarber signed and Alonso signed, but those aren't exactly the dominoes within the Yankees chessboard.
Okay.
Bad analogy, but that's not the one that's going to fall and then really make them have anything happen. I think it's more Tucker, where Bellinger goes, this, that. And I think Bo Bichette, if that's a pivot move that they go for, I wouldn't say no, man. I would not say no to Bo Bichette. It would be interesting. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I just it just is blowing my mind that there's like absolutely no smoke between the Yankees and this guy. Like you said, Cashman came out and said the Yankees are too left-handed. They need more right-handed hitting. Bo Bichette, right-handed hitter. He's 27 years old. He's led the American League in hits multiple times. I understand his defense at shortstop is bad, and maybe even as soon as this year he might move off and have to play second base. So, and maybe in this scenario, Jazz is traded this offseason, or even if not, you could keep Jazz around, figure out how it works. Have Bichette play short for a year, move over to second if they're not going to extend Jazz, which we kind of just touched on. It seems like the Yankees may not be very keen on keeping Jazz around long term. He's also the leadoff hitter that we haven't had in years. We really haven't had a leadoff hitter since, outside of 2019 DJ, I guess, since Brett Gardner. So for me, I think it just makes so much sense for the Yankees to be in on a guy like Bo Bichette, especially if you can have him for potentially even less than Cody Bellinger. So to me, that would be my move. If you ask me to drop the rest of the Yankees off season, I would get Bichette. I would have Dominguez and either Austin Hayes or Rob Refschneider type platoon in left field, just kind of go platoon heavy there. That also fixes some of your vulnerability against left-handed pitchers. And then go out and get a pitcher, whether that's Imai or a Freddie Peralta type trade.
I like it. Yeah, no, 18 home runs last year for Bichette, 94 RBIs, 311 average, 357 on base, 840 OPS. And that's kind of similar in the ballpark of what Bellinger was giving you. And if it is that Boris, being the Bellinger agent, is going to try and take the Yankees money for whatever they can get, I mean, is that a pivot? And I agree with you. If Brian Cashman is very keen on having right-handed bats in this lineup, it does make sense that Bo Bichette would be a person that you're talking to. And
Right.
we haven't seen a whole lot of smoke on it, but maybe we'll find out. I don't know. And that's the fear that comes back to that you sort of opened the pod with, is that we're not hearing too many rumblings with this Yankees team, and that gives me a lot of fear that maybe they do run it back, and maybe they are
Yeah.
comfortable with watching Dominguez and left and watching Jones and them tough it out at that position, which I just think is a recipe for disaster. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I think Bo Bichette would be a good option for the Yankees if they do get down that rabbit hole with Bellinger to say, I don't know, that's a little too much money, man.